Hello, and welcome to another Bedrock tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to be making a moss farm. We've got the sunflower that's gonna guide us, showing our east, so that we can make sure the tracks lined up properly. This chest has all the block varieties we need. The wool is just solid blocks. I have them colored so that we can split this into components. So we're gonna go ahead and grab a few of these and get started with the timing system. So we're gonna come out a few blocks and place down a temporary block with a temporary hopper into it. And then just wrap around like this, destroy your temporary hopper, and complete this link. So these hoppers are all joined. You'll see that it makes an appearance every now and then. Then we'll destroy this temporary block and place a block with a comparator on it. A temporary block, and then a solid block up there. Then we're going to repeat this twice, so there, with a repeater again. This block will have a torch on it, and this is going to go up to the farm. Now coming out of the side of this one, we're going to have a block with a lever on it, and this is going to be to power the entire farm. Behind this, we're going to have a redstone dust and a repeater. And powering this will turn off the hopper clock, so no item's going to move around there. So coming out of the back of this repeater is going to be a block with a torch, and then 3 blocks just like that with redstone dust on them. And that's going to go to the collection system. On this side of the lever, we're going to have a torch with a block on top of it, and then another block with redstone dust on these. Then we're going to go zigzagged 2, destroy these 2 temporary blocks, and place a redstone right there. You're going to place a sticky piston here with an observer powering upwards. You'll place your sticky piston, 2 temporary blocks, destroy this one, and place your observer so it's powering, or so it's facing upwards. Then you'll place a temporary block there with the observer facing down. So when this turns on, those will connect. We're going to put a solid block here with a temporary block, solid block, and a piston, sticky piston, facing downward. Destroy that temporary block. And this is going to have a redstone and a repeater. Under this piston, you're going to have an observer powering downwards. Then this is as far as we're going to go for this power system right now. So we're going to put these blocks away, and we're going to grab what we need for the stone generators. From this observer, we're going to go down 2 blocks and then place a row of 7, so 3 on each side of that middle one, just like this. Then destroy these and place some redstone along this. Then we're going to have our 6 pistons just like that. So once the pistons are in place, we're going to fully encase them in glass. We're also going to come out front one like this, and then temporarily close that off. Because as we waterlog these, we don't want the water to fall down and destroy our redstone. We're going to place glass in these areas like so. This can also be a solid block. I just like to see things function. Then you're going to place one lava bucket in the middle, like that. And that'll turn everything to stone. Then we can destroy these three. Okay, so we're going to count across from here 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's where the collection's going to be. Then we're going to count back another 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this is going to come across 7. So that's too far. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can go ahead and destroy these temporary blocks. And then we're going to build the other stone generator here. This is using 4 stone generators. That's the same idea, encasing this in glass. Waterlogging. And then adding the lava layer. Just like so. We'll go ahead and destroy this temporary area. And now we have 2 stone generators. So from this glass block underneath the stone, we're going to come out 2, down 1, and then out 1 more. Can leave these 2. This is where the collection system's going to start. So we'll have 7 redstone blocks come across like that. And then we're going to go ahead and fill this area to the end of the generator here. So we're going to come to the 3rd row and destroy the block in the middle, right there. That is so that the minecarts don't just pick up all of the bone meal from the dispenser. So then we'll place a temporary block and a solid block under that. So we're going to place a line of temporary blocks here. And then hoppers all along that. And we're going to put slabs on the top half of the block above the hopper. You can destroy these temporary blocks, because they will be in our way. Then out from the hoppers, we're going to come 2 blocks and up 1 block, like this. Then we're going to use rails to push a hopper with a minecart into all of these slabs. So it's easier to do this one at a time so that your rails don't just connect like this. When you destroy these, you can't do anything with that. So just do it one at a time. Once all those are in, go ahead and place a line of solid blocks behind it, and then you can destroy these 2 temporary blocks here. The block behind the slab, you can go ahead and build up 1 more. Then we're going to take detector rails and place them all along the slabs with powered rails on all the redstone blocks. And you can use any type of rail to connect up here so that your detector rails are on an angle. And then go ahead and destroy these rails. And you're going to put another solid block, like that. Place a temporary block here, and a solid block there. Destroy the temporary block, and come all the way across. We're going to grab the comparators and place a comparator on all of those coming out of this block here. On this block, you're going to place a redstone torch with a solid block on top of that. Then a torch coming out of the front. It should turn off as you place it. And then comparators coming out of that torch. So then you'll place a temporary block and the solid block up here. Come all the way across that. Then I like to place the fence gates first, and then a torch, and all the gates will open. And that's how you know you did this right. So now as the carts come up and they start to offload, if they're really full, the comparator will turn off this torch, which will close this gate. And then when it's empty, it'll turn the torch back on and open the gate. So now we're going to add the rail system, which is going to come like that for that one. This one is going to loop around this way and then come there. And then this one is just a short little guy there. Then the rest are all going to be long. You're going to place a redstone dust in this hole, then a solid block above that. And then down here, we'll get a temporary block, a solid block under that, destroying the temporary block. Grab a repeater, poke that in so that it's powering this block, and then bring this back to there. Then we'll add 3 redstone dust, a temporary block, and then all of these are going to be solid blocks in this area. Just like that. You'll place a repeater in all of these, and then a redstone dust along this top, making sure it connects down into that. And then out of the back of these rails, this will all be solid block. Then on every powered rail, we're going to place a hopper minecart. So now we're going to finish with the moss portion of this. So in this block, we're going to have our dispenser here, and in front of it will be the moss block. So it should all be in line with the stone that's going to come across. So then we're going to bring this up one more solid block, place a redstone dust on top of that, and then solid blocks across here with redstone. We're going to come up 2 temporary blocks and then place a solid block. And we're going to take a piston, put it there, and then more pistons on both sides of this in the 3x7 areas. Now these pistons are important because they destroy any of the greenery that forms on the moss. So your carpets, grass, azaleas, and it just ensures that more moss can continue to grow. So then on top of all of these, we're going to have redstone dust, including on that piston there. Then we're going to bring this across until it connects, and then keep coming across. And then once, or over top of this block, we're going to put our sticky piston with our observer facing up. And we can bring this across right to the piston. You don't have to have the redstone on the piston, but yeah. So that's about it for that. You can go ahead and test that everything's going to work out now. And the stone will push its way to the middle. You can't see it because it glitches out right now, but when we turn this off, you see that it's ready to go. When we come down here, we have to put an item, doesn't matter what, into the hoppers, so it's sitting in this hopper. And when we turn this on, it should start to function. You'll see the moss blocks getting picked up. And everything will just keep pushing the stone to the center. When you run out of, the last part we have to do is take the composters and create our dropper elevator. So the dropper elevator is going to be bringing the bone meal into the dispenser there. So we're going to just create a track of hoppers here that are going to line up with this one. So we need one more right there. So we'll come down here and place composters on these 4. You can do these 3 as well if you want to collect bone meal. If you want to collect just moss, then this can be a chest under here. So we'll leave those blank for now. Temporary block here, and then hoppers all running this way. We'll destroy this block and place a dropper facing up, and then just bring up this pillar to this top one, where the dropper is going to be facing into the hopper. We're going to leave this solid block and have an observer facing away from it with redstone there, and then some redstone just like this. We'll have a comparator on top of that observer that will be in retract mode, and then a comparator here with redstone there and here. Then a temporary block, solid block there. And that will just ensure that whenever there's something in here, it gets forced up into this one. Then we're going to have an observer looking down there and an observer looking into that one to power this block, so that the items will just continue to be lifted through the elevator. Then we're going to put a torch and just alternate the torch then observer until we get to the top. While also ensuring that an observer is looking at each of these blocks. And continue the solid pillar until you get to the top. Just like that. And that is the item elevator. So you'll put your bone meal in here, and it'll find its way up and into the dispenser. Now that is the entirety of this farm. And you can have some convenience items, such as the chests and hoppers. You can have something set up that when you press a button or pull a lever, it replaces the hopper and chest. Another convenience item would be just taking some slabs and slabbing off on top of this lava. So that you don't accidentally fall in when you're climbing around the top of your farm here. And then I also like to have a block here so that you can come in and check your bone meal. So we're going to take a stack of bone meal, throw that in here, and then I'm going to let that run so you can see kind of the efficiency. I'm going to place chests. Just place double chests for now, not that they'll get filled. I'll remove this hopper too and just place a chest here so you can see how much bone meal goes up into the system. So we'll run it for the 64 and you'll see what you're getting into. So one thing I failed to mention is that you want solid blocks here or else it kicks out a lot of your moss. So you're just gonna fill those two with solid blocks and that'll solve this problem here. It looks like that's it. Yeah. It should all deglitchify to stone. And then you'll see these chests are filled up quite nicely. And then we've got 64 back in this chest. So, and that was about 2 minutes it takes to run that. So when you have this as a hopper, it'll just keep running indefinitely. So there you have it. That is, in essence, a moss and bone meal farm. So, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. So, we'll see you later. Bye.